This is brilliant. King Arthur was real. The Knights of the Round Table were real. And now we have Excalibur right here in front of us. Those stodgy bastards at Oxford will have kittens when they hear of this.
It's even bigger than that, Alistair. What Arthur called Excalibur is a powerful artifact that predates him by millennia.
Well, it's still in pieces. Who brought the superglue?
While I was in Ghana, I asked you to look around for the Galali key. No luck, I take it?
It was not among your father's collection.
Or his records.
It wasn't in Ghana either. Or Rutland was... Hello? What's this? I've seen you before, haven't I? Hang on. A striking resemblance, don't you think?
The pendant was a gift from your father. I never knew from where he had obtained it, until now.
Where is it now?
It's in the Himalayas. My mother had it with her. Zip, Alistair, I'm going to Nepal. Please make the usual arrangements.
We'll take care of it. Come on, man.
Not to presume, Lady Croft, but I'd hoped you wouldn't try to use the sword yourself after what happened to your mother.
She removed the sword. That's what killed her. I don't intend to do the same. If my father had known any of this, he tried so hard, and they hated him for it.
No one hated him, Lara.
It bloody well wasn't love, was it? His reputation was destroyed. Now there's more than one thing to be salvaged from that mountaintop. The wreckage should be just on the other side.
I can't see anything. You sure you're in the right spot?
I never forget a face.
Hello everybody, Lady Gator to you here, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Legend.
Once again, we find ourselves on a mountain without climbing gear. And I doubt any of that snow and ice is stable. You should keep moving before it breaks on you.
I have done this before.
So, in the previous video, we obtained the final part of Excalibur and while escaping King Arthur's tomb. And in this episode, we're going to be getting the final part. I know we just said that we got the last part, but you know what I mean. If you've been watching this series, and if you haven't, then why haven't you? Anyway, this is actually one of my more favorite levels, mostly because of the music. The music in this level is really awesome. Tomb Raider games aren't really all that well known for the music. There isn't that much music going on. Sure, there are some moments here and there where like during boss fights and stuff like that, but most of the time it's just like standard music and stuff, and most of it's just sound effects from the actual game. But this level has some pretty cool music and stuff, and also I really like the snow and frozen things like that, and this place just looks really cool. Those icicles, as you saw, they will break if you're not fast enough, so keep that in mind. And over here we have the first secret in the level. Pretty easy to find if you're observant, but I can understand if you've missed this one.
I'm not ready to give up yet. I might have to make my own path.
I still find it hilarious that Laura's mouth doesn't move when she talks in this game. Well, it doesn't cutscenes, but during the actual levels, her mouth doesn't move, which I always found really funny.
There it is.
Man, that's a wreck. How old were you? 8 or 9?
Something like that.
Something I remembered recently when I was practicing through this level to record was that in the instruction manual for the original Tomb Raider on the PlayStation, it mentioned that when Lara was 21, she was in a plane crash and she was the only survivor. So and the experience made her a hardened survivor and stuff like that. What I find interesting is that I guess that's what they based the plane crash from this game off of. But at the same time, Lara was like 8 or something when that happened in this game.
Look, now that's proper gear for getting to the top of the mountain.
That's one of Rutland's. I told him to mind his own business, and here he is following me to the ends of the earth.
Maybe he heard you wrong. You think he's in there?
I doubt it. Not when he could be at home with his feet up.
The Himalaya, the plane crash and stuff, and the plane crash, with that experience being what made Lara the survivor she is today. Whenever I think about that, it just reminds me more and more of why I'm kind of not that big of a fan of the Tomb Raider reboot that came out last year, I think it was. No, it was last year, if I think so. I think I cannot talk right now.
Okay, be careful. You know this thing could go over the cliff any second.
I knew it then, and I know it now. I'll be fine, Zip. Don't worry.
The reason why I didn't really like the reboot for Tomb Raider was that it tried to explain something that didn't really need explaining, because in the instruction manual for the very first game, it explains how she became the hardened survivor. Her plane crashed, and she was the only survivor, so she had to rely on her own abilities to survive.
You walk in there without weighing down this end, you'll go right over the edge.
Good advice, Zip. You do look after me.
You and Winston, he signs the checks.
Nah, I look safe. Let's just go in there. Oops. Nah, just kidding. It's worth mentioning that every time you do die in this area, the Zip will repeat his dialogue every time you go into the plane. So I'm gonna be rude and interrupt him. Fear me for my powers of interrupting a non-existent character in a video game.
You and Winston, he signs the checks. Is that it?
Yes. It is.
Lara? You okay?
Of course.
Just checking. It's usually someone else's past you're digging into.
That's where you're wrong, Zip. This has always been what it's about.
That temple needs a 3D depth
Well,
slider.
there's one more place I'd like to visit. It shouldn't take too long.
Well, we have a long way to go to get to that temple thing. So let's just get on our way. As awesome as that cutscene was, I have a slight problem with it. If the plane really was there the entire time, like all these years, how did it not fall over? Because there was a snow leopard or whatever that thing was. But anyway, as I was saying a second ago, my problem with the new Tomb Raider is that it tried to explain things that didn't really need to be explained, and it just didn't feel like a Tomb Raider game because Lara didn't even have her pistols, and that's like something that you just cannot remove from a Tomb Raider game.
Look, Lara. This is fantastic. Look at them all. This is a fight in itself.
Now I'd like to clarify, I've not actually played the reboot for myself, so my opinions may not matter all that much. But that's just my personal opinion on what I think about the reboot. And something that's as awesome as the new game looks, the name kind of bothers me because that should have been the name of the reboot, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Again, the game looks awesome. And I'll probably get the PC version because video games apparently don't love me enough to make a Wii U version.
This must be where Santa's evil brother lives.
I love that. I love that. This must be where Santa's evil brother lives. That's one of the huge reasons why I love this game. I know I've talked about this, but Zip and Ouster's comments are just what made me love this game so much, and what really disappointed me with Underworld is that they didn't have the comments. Laura, Zip, and Ouster only really talk to each other through a computer, laptop stream thing, like, I don't know, like Skype or something. I don't know exactly what it was.
Bloody hell. It's too bleeding chancy, Lara.
I'll be fine.
Laura's kind of crazy. It's kind of surprising that it took her this long to make a game where it focuses on Laura slowly becoming insane. I'm not talking about this game when I say that, I'm talking about Rise of the Tomb Raider. And why must these characters just talk? Why can't I talk? How very convenient are those grenades to have a red trail behind them so that I can easily see where they are. Anyway, this is the only area where you'll see a lot of these types of enemies together. The only other real enemies in this area are the snow leopards. I don't actually know if that's what they are, but that's what I always thought they were. This area has 3 rewards, 2 bronze and 1 silver. One of the bronze is very easy to find. That one, basically easy, for lack of a better word. Now this silver one is the one that always gets me. I can never remember where this is. It's a huge reason why I practiced this level a couple times before recording. And we got the silver. Yay! Clap for joy. You can pick up the weapons if you want. I'm personally not going to because I don't really need them. But I think that's going to be it for today. So after we go down this very conveniently placed zipline, I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, we're geared to you. Oh yeah.